everyone, I'm here with my daily video, and today we're going to talk a little bit about white space planning, specifically about white space planning as it works with on your planner pages, how I am kind of going to start doing white space planning, what white space planning means to me, and how doing white space planning kind of is a little bit of a game changer for me, and I'm going to show you kind of how it's a game changer for me. So if you would like to hear a little bit about my experience with white space planning on my planner pages and how that kind of affords me some kind of white space in my life, and some of the things that I've been through, some of what I've gone through, some of the things that have influenced me, including 2 books that I've read that I'm not going to talk a ton about because this is not a book review, then I invite you to watch the video so that we can talk planners and talk white space. So let's go ahead and watch the video. So one comment that I very frequently get, either in the comments of the videos or on my Instagrams or, any number of places I get messages, and it's not a comment that I haven't heard before, is people very often remark that I tend to do a whole lot. I have a lot on my planner pages, and it seems like I do a lot, and I really actually do. And it's just kind of how my whole life has been. I was a bit of a free-range kid growing up, meaning very much independent from a very, very young age, because my mother was a single mom who was a working mother, full-time student, undergrad and then graduate, and then worked full-time. And so she taught me from a very young age, and I also saw of her how to kind of manage time and also be incredibly resourceful. It's something that just I was just taught from a very young age, and I've always kind of packed a lot into my days. I have a lot of interests, and when I'm interested in things, I always invest myself as fully as I possibly can, because I just feel like the best way to describe it is I'm endlessly curious about all sorts of things. I love to research things and discover new things and learn new things more than anything in the world. So that's why if you look at the header of my channel, on kind of the welcome page, I guess you could say, of my channel, it says that this channel, and I also said this in my channel trailer, which is only a couple of minutes long. It's in the about section of my channel. I remarked that this channel is very much about lifelong learning, as I consider myself to be, which is someone who just constantly seeks and kind of has a thirst for deeper and greater understanding of just all sorts of things. I never consider myself to be an expert in anything, and I kind of feel like I'm never going to consider myself to be an expert, just because, like I said, I'm just kind of endlessly curious, and I've always been that way, always, my whole entire life. My parents have even said that that's just how I was from the very, very beginning. So, so that said, I do pack a lot into my days, into my nights, because it's now evening time, and also on my planner pages, and I do get a tremendous amount accomplished. But what I have discovered about accomplishment or achievement is that it's not necessarily something that is very strongly synonymous with productivity. And by productivity, what I refer to is checking things off a list, having an endless sort of a to-do list, and then getting everything checked off on that list. I've actually found that sometimes to-do lists, for me, in some cases, it's actually counterproductive, meaning it goes against productivity. The reason why is because something else that I also have my whole life been challenged by is ADHD, which is attention deficit disorder, or attention deficit and hyperactivity disorder, as much as anxiety, just generalized anxiety. And the challenge with ADHD has been something that I have just kind of worked with and never let it be a hindrance to whatever it is that I set out to try and do. Planning has helped tremendously with that. Physically writing things down is something that helps me tremendously when it comes to ADHD. And there are actually neuroscience and academic studies that support this claim that physically writing things down makes a huge amount of difference when it comes to any sort of issues with focus. Another thing that goes along with helping with focus as much as easing anxiety or just apprehensions is giving healthy structure to your day, which is where planning kind of comes into play. Now, when I think about planning, I actually don't think of it as being an endless list with items that should be checked off or that need to be checked off, like you have to do it, meaning productivity. And the reason why I don't think of planning that way is because I kind of think of planning as being a little bit of an ongoing sort of a conversation that I might be kind of having within myself, where I'm constantly just thinking about kind of like what is in front of me and whatever might come next, or what have I just kind of gotten beyond in order to kind of usher me forward so that I can just kind of like be on to the next big adventure. And that big adventure could be any number of things. Spending time with my family, could be trying to work with my dog so that he can train to be like a therapy dog. That's one of our goals, that we can get our dogs certified to be therapy dogs and they can do like reading programs with kids in schools and things. I am really interested in doing community outreach work, specifically with within the realms of victims advocacy, especially as it has to do with domestic violence. That's something that's very close to my heart, just because of my own kind of like personal experiences. And so all of that said, I always set out to do any number of those things during any number of my days. But what I do is I lay things out in my planner pages in a way so that it's just kind of like an ongoing thought process, but just on paper. That might mean that there is an entire week that goes through that I don't actually check anything off of my list. Sometimes I will purposefully not check things off my list, because once I get into the mode sometimes of checking things off my list, I start into a direction more of like productivity and starting to feel a little more like a workhorse and less like someone who is fueled by creativity or curiosity, which in my own experience as a teacher, that is far, far more conducive to growth and to everyday joy and everyday learning and discovery than making yourself feel like or expecting yourself to be like a workhorse. So this, in a very roundabout sort of a way, goes into the two books that I talked about and mentioned in the intro. The two books that I read that really strongly have influenced me with regard to white space planning on paper as much as white space planning in my life are the book called The Magic Art of Tidying, the KonMari Method, and also a book called The Fringe Hours by Jessica Turner, and I will link both of those books in the description of this video. I read both of those books in the spring of 2015, I believe, and I read them in digital versions. Otherwise, I would kind of like show you the physical books, but I don't have them because I read them in ebook style. Which, by the way, ebooks are great for individuals who are challenged by dyslexia, and I can talk about that in a different sort of a video. And I know that ebooks are great for that sort of thing just because I've worked closely with educational psychologists in student advocacy, educational advocacy, as much as I've worked with them just for to meet my own needs, because I struggle with dyslexia. And there's all different forms of dyslexia. Dyslexia basically means reading disability, and mine has to do with processing and fluency, meaning the speed of which I can read. So there's that. We can talk about that in a different video. But the two books that I mentioned, the KonMari Method, which is the magic art of tidying, and then the Fringe Hours by Jessica Turner. Now today, what I did with some of my Fringe Hours, and the premise of the whole idea of the Fringe Hours is it's about looking critically at whatever time or whatever day you might have in front of you, and it's about you finding pockets of time or white space in your life, or pockets of white space on your planner, meaning time that's otherwise not accounted for, time that you do not fill in purposefully. Because I know that for myself, I can have a tendency to want to fill in things in my planner, which is why I sometimes won't check things off on my planner purposefully, because then I might get in the mode of just trying to like get things down, fill things in, and then it quickly becomes no white space. Well, for me and for my purposes, I know that by having no white space in my planner, it will inevitably mean that I have no white space in my life. It will stress me out. I will get worn out. I will get sick. It's not healthy for me. It's something that I've mentioned recently in some videos, that like I have a tendency to just like kind of work myself, or just go, and not stop at all, like not schedule any time for rest. My husband has called my attention to it. I'm very much trying to like critically think about how to deal with that. I think as a, someone who has worked and has done things the way that I have like my whole entire life, I get into that cycle. It's like an endless cycle, and while I'll still be doing things that I really, really want to do, that I'm supposed to be doing, it's just not healthy for me to do that. And I am very well aware of that. And I'm like very, very ambitiously looking to like slow down, to change that cycle. Or in the whole trending thing that is like going on, like I gotta slow my roll, basically. Well, today what I did is I took some time to make some stickers for myself. Some of them I'm going to be able to sell in my Etsy shop, and some I have added actually to the rack kind of pile. Let's see here. Some of these are already listed. Like I made these glasses stickers because I really like, I wear glasses, so this is great for like work or for personal time or something, but they're just kind of small and they have bows on them. They're kind of cute. And then I made makeup stickers just because I don't have any. And I really wanted one, but I wanted small ones, like bullet journal style. So this is for me to like remember, because I do wear makeup sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes, but I need to like clean my brushes and stuff. So this is actually going to be a $2 Tuesday thing for tomorrow. And then I also made this here for Illustrated Faith. And this is kind of exciting just because the Happy Planner just came out with their kind of faith planner. But I did this just because, as I've mentioned in other videos, I'm illustrating a book right now, and I need to have over 100 works of original artwork. And one of the items on kind of the wish list of the author is that I do artwork that's illustrated faith style. So I'm going to show you a little bit of artwork within this video, just to kind of give you a little bit of a preview of probably what I'm going to end up sharing on my channel, just kind of as a working artist, and you can see kind of my working portfolio. People have asked me about that, so I'll share it. But I made illustrated faith stickers for myself because, if you have a sticker, maybe you're more likely to do it. I don't know. For me, it helps to have something visually represented in my planner, so I made actual stickers for that. And some of these are in my Etsy shop. And then I also made these, which are called the Fringe Hours, or just Fringe Hours. And it's like a little kind of bunting of fringe or tassels, and it says the Fringe Hours on it. And this is something that goes back to the book that I mentioned, The Fringe Hours by Jessica Turner, that's specifically about me trying to schedule time in my day trying to schedule white space in my day so that I can like allow myself to not go all the time. And I've not been very successful at doing that. I've been going like nonstop since way back in like March time, when I made the transition from being a work outside of the home mom to a work from the home mom, parent, wife, etc. And that's not good. I'm gonna wear myself into the ground, and that's not good. It's not gonna be helpful to anybody. It's not gonna be helpful for me. So I made myself these stickers, these Fringe Hours stickers, and these are like kind of like quarter box size, maybe even a little bit bigger than that. But I made them specifically so that they would block off a certain amount of my planner so that I physically could not write anything in it. I actually designed these a while ago, like a long while ago, and I made them originally as printables. But since I now have made peace with my silhouette, now I can like actually make them, which is kind of nice, just because these are kind of intricate to kind of cut out by hand, even with the gyro cut. So I'm using these, and I'll show you what it looks like in my planner so that you can see a little bit more of an example, and then we'll look at kind of like some of the illustrations that I've done in the past, so that you can get an idea of what's to come when I start sharing a little more of just like my working artist kind of work from home mom kind of life. So, because people have asked about that. So let me swing the camera around, and we'll probably get pretty close to kind of like concluding the video at that point. But I just kind of wanted to give you a little bit of an idea of just kind of like where I am and how I am with things. And I don't know, just like share with you and talk to you about like the importance of white space, or what I've discovered about white space planning and how that can or does kind of inform the way that white space is created in and of your life and your time. So let me spin the camera around so then I can show you kind of the rest of everything. So here are my little planner sticker, kind of tiny stickers that I have here, and here is my planner for this week. There is my Illustrated Faith sticker, and there is the Fringe Hours sticker. And like I said, this is about like a quarter box size, and I have one there, and then I have one there, and then there's my Illustrated Faith. And you'll see that I didn't really leave very much room for me to, oh, there's the brushes sticker. But I didn't really leave very much room for me to write anything in there, just because I purposefully wanted to, I wanted to make this otherwise kind of unscheduled, unblocked time. And the reason why is because when it comes to creativity, oh, there's the little glasses sticker that I made. When it comes to creativity, creative process, and like me doing artwork, original artwork, I have discovered that in order for me to be able to do original artwork, I have to allow myself room and space to kind of like breathe and just really think and like ruminate on things. Because if I don't allow myself to do that sort of thing, if I don't schedule in Fringe Hours, so I mean, you don't need a sticker for it, you could just as well like draw your own kind of Fringe Hours on there, and this is just a term. You could call this white space planning, like actual white space planning. But I found that if I put it on my planner pages and I just block off an area, then what it does is it forces me to like not have anything occupying that time and that space in my day, in my time, in my schedule, and then it allows me to do things like this. So this is a book illustration in a journaling Bible. This is an HCSB, and this is, I have two journaling, and this I got years ago. It was only like $25 before journaling Bibles were even a thing. And I got this just because it specifically has a lot of space. It's like an upside down kind of U shape. I will try and link this in the description of this video, but Every time I've tried to before, it's been really hard for people to kind of come by or for me to find a link for it because it's otherwise discontinued. But this is a multimedia work. It's got pen and ink, and then this is also Prismacolor that's blended with Gamsol and a blending stump. And this took me about 3.5 hours to do. And people have asked me if I would be willing to do a little bit of a demo of this. And I would love to do a demo of something like this. However, I don't know if I have the actual space on my camera phone, my iPhone, which is how I film this, in order to do like a full kind of time-lapse demo. I might have to do something a little bit creative and abbreviated in how I edit it and how I film it, but this is a little bit of an example of what just kind of my general kind of skill set and like work as a working visual artist kind of is. I am most comfortable actually working with paint. So working with dry media like this, which this is a very painterly sort of a style, meaning the marks and the way that the colors kind of work. But you know, I'm most comfortable with paint. I would otherwise paint in here because I know how to seal the pages, I know how to seal the paper in order to be able to paint on it, but using coloring pencil, and like I said, I use Prismacolor, soft core pencils, but using coloring pencil is a challenge for me, and I always try to challenge myself when it comes to any kind of work that I do, so that's kind of why I'm going to try and do coloring pencil. So that is one, and then like I said, I have like a dedicated book that's just like this. And what I've done, and I showed this kind of in a previous video, but this is just a kind of for people who are not otherwise familiar with my channel or people have asked. So this is one that I did, and again, this is mixed media. So this is dry media, it is Prismacolor soft core pencil, and then it's pen and ink, and then it's blended with a blending stump, and then what I did there is I just kind of like highlighted the portion of the text that this goes along with. Here's another one that I did. And again, this is the same thing. Prismacolor with Gamsol, and then pen and ink. And then, let's see here. I mean, I have a few. I don't have a ton in here because, like I said, it takes me a long time to be able to do this type of stuff. And I just haven't really had the time to be able to do it. Or at least, I don't want to say I haven't had the time, but I haven't been able to like block out the time the way that I otherwise could. But me blocking out time to do this, I mean, this is a part of my work. Like, me making space in my planner with a sticker, because isn't there just a sticker for everything, and then saying, this is what I'm going to do during the Fringe Hours. Like, it's unscheduled, it's unstructured. I know it's going to allow me to be creative the way that I need to be creative. And, you know, I need to be creative. I think that being creative, being able to visually express yourself, it's something that all individuals need. So whether that is, here's another one. This one I don't enjoy quite so much. I mean, it is what it is, but this is one of my more favorite ones. And some of these, they have tabs on them, like pictorial tabs, but they don't have anything on there, so I like don't need to show you that. But I know that just like for myself, I need to be able to be creative, and I need to be able to have a way to kind of like express myself, and I need to be able to give myself time to do that. Otherwise, I'm just gonna get really stressed out. So yeah, so that's kind of what's to come here on this channel. And if this type of creative expression, like this type of creative expression in a Bible, if that bothers you, then I totally understand if you don't want to kind of be along for that. You can always think about this as just, this is me doing book illustrations, because that's exactly what I'm doing. But, you know, you're welcome to kind of be along for that. I'm going to be sharing it openly here. this is not going to become a Bible journaling channel just because I really love planning as much as I love visual art, but you know, I just wanted to kind of like share this with you all and kind of show you that the importance of white space planning and how white space planning, when you do commit yourself to doing things like blocking off fringe hours for yourself and then even placing something there, you know, for what you're going to do in those fringe hours, it can really give way to incredible things. The last time I really committed myself to fringe hours and to doing things like this, well, I found that I was able to be creative and expressive in ways that just were really incredible and extraordinary for me. So yeah, that's it for this video. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. I know that what I talked about was very metaphorical in a lot of ways. It might have even been hard to follow, but just like with any video that I have, you're always welcome to come back and revisit whatever it is that I present. You're also always welcome and encouraged to drop any comments or questions in the discussion below. As I've said in many videos, I consider the comments to just be an extension of the videos, so that we can have like some real sort of interaction and exchange. I do try to reply to every video or every comment that's left, just because I appreciate the time that you spend with me when you watch my videos every day, like hanging out with me here online, and I also learn so much by interacting with those who leave comments on my videos. People have left some really awesome and helpful information, especially in some of the latest videos. Someone recently left some very great information on one of the videos that I was talking about using the silhouette portrait. So in any of the videos that I post, always look in the comments even if you don't want to leave a comment, just because there's a lot of discussion and a lot of information that's usually left in the comments of any of the videos that I have. So there's that. So that's it for this video, and thank you so much for watching it. Thank you so much for liking my videos. Thank you so much for your comments. Thank you so much for hanging out with me online. And I just look forward to seeing you all in tomorrow's daily video. I hope that what I offered you today was interesting, amusing, helpful, and I look forward to seeing you in tomorrow's daily video. So that's it for today's video, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye!